The New York Giants just put the NFL on alert. Let's talk about it. My name is Paul. This is Big Apple Sports. Tune in every day for the latest Giants news, insights, and analysis. If you're a fan of Giants football, first off, my condolences. But second off, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Might be a rough season, but you know what? It's still football season. What do they say? Like the best day of fishing, or the worst day of fishing, still better than the best day at the office. I think it's like that with football as well. Even if it's bad football, it's football. We're going to talk about it right here. I'm going to try to find the positives for the Giants this season because while bad things might happen week in and week out and there might be some ugly games, I still think this team has a bright future with Dart and Neighbors and Abdul Carter. And do they have the right coach? I don't know. You tell me in the comments. But regardless, we're going to make it through this Giants season, and I'm going to talk about everything Giants right here. So let's talk about the big statement that was made this week by one Tyrone Tracy. So, week one, the running game was awful. Like, I'll pull up the box score here. You can see Tyrone Tracy had 10 carries for a pretty pathetic 24 yards. Singletary didn't fare much better. Cam Scadaboo, if you bet him to get 1,000 yards rushing this year, you now need him to get 1,003. Truthfully, I think he broke about 6 tackles just to get up to -3 yards. The blocking was ugly. No running game. Russ was really the only one who had success on the ground. But Tyrone Tracy is here to say that he took that personally. Now, specifically, he called out coaches even a little bit and was like, dude, we had it at the 1 yard line, and you threw a pass to our backup lineman, Marcus Bowe. Now, I love Marcus Bowe. I expect him to start at some point this year. I think the dude's a beast. He's going to be a big part of the Giants' future, but probably not as a pass catcher. And I think, Tyrone Tracy kind of understood, like, yeah, if we're barely gaining anything on the ground, you probably don't trust us to ground and pound it from the 1 yard line. And they did at one point in the game give Scadaboo a chance inside the 3, and he was hit well before he even got to the line of scrimmage. And it was a mess. And I love to see the team taking accountability and taking it personally and saying, like, we're going to be better. And hopefully we see it this week. And, I think there is reason to believe we could see it this week. Like, you look at that Packers-Commanders game from Thursday night, and Josh Jacobs was pretty equally unimpressive. 23 carries, 84 yards, a pretty weak 3.7 yards per carry. That is well below his career average. So it's possible, that's better than the Giants. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I think the Giants are going to come out and run it like they have, Saquon again and that Eagles offensive line that Saquon ran behind. But it's possible they played one of the better rushing defenses in the NFL and that things are going to get better. And then the Cowboys present an interesting matchup as well this week. Like, without DaRon Bland, they're really going to have to focus on one of two things. Either they're going to have to put safety help over the top for Malik Neighbors all day. Might have had to do that with DaRon Bland, honestly. Or they're going to have to hope that they can get so much pressure that they can just crash down and bottle up at the line of scrimmage and prevent Russ from having time to take a shot deep over the top. But if that's the case, if everybody's in the box to stop the run and pressure Russ, that's where you might see Neighbors take a slant to the house, or hopefully Wan'Dale Robinson, you see him make a big play. So it'll be interesting to see. It's nice that the Cowboys are down a man. Not that I wish injury upon anybody, but they're going to have to figure things out on defense. And, looking at last year's stats, the Cowboys actually had the third worst rushing defense in the entire NFL. That was with Micah Parsons. Obviously, he's known for his pass rushing, not necessarily his run stopping. And, maybe they'll be better against the run this year, swapping out Micah Parsons for Kenny Clark. But this early in the year, there's not a lot to go on statistically. They actually did do a pretty good job of bottling up Saquon in the Week 1 game, but like I said, it's early in the year. It's tough to know what to make some of these teams, but I at least like to see. I feel like there's been a lot of accountability this week for the Giants, and Lord knows they need it. Like, if they're out here not taking accountability, putting up stats like this, then I think you have much bigger problems than what we saw. But I liked Malik Neighbors talking about how ugly the tape was this week, and he talked about his RBF, if you look up that story, and he's going to work on his body language. I like that he talked about like his sideline burst, and a lot of these wide receivers are kind of getting the reputation of being divas. I hope Malik Neighbors doesn't turn into that, but I like that he was just like, look, I was fired up out there. I was trying to bring energy to the sidelines. We didn't have much energy. I love that Neighbors plays with passion and energy, and he looks at that tape and he's like, that wasn't good enough. And hopefully all this accountability leads to a better product on the field week 2, but only time will tell. So Giants fans, give me your predictions for this week. You think they win? You think they lose but keep it close? You think they get run off the field? I know in recent years it's been pretty ugly in Dallas, and honestly, the Cowboys played the Eagles pretty tough week 1, but we don't really know a lot about the Eagles yet either. Back to the whole, it's the beginning of the year, new teams, new games. But the Eagles without Jalen Carter, maybe they're going to have a Super Bowl hangover. Maybe the Cowboys looked pretty good against them because the Eagles aren't that good themselves. Time will tell. It's all going to play out on the field. And we are going to hopefully have at least a decent time talking about it. And even with a loss tomorrow, there's going to be more positives. Even if that only positive is we're 1 week closer to Jackson Dart. Maybe that's the big takeaway from tomorrow. But anyways, drop me your predictions in the comments. I think I'm going to say my official prediction. I'm going to go Cowboys 23, Giants 19. I think it's going to be closer. I think the offense is going to look a little better. I think the defense is going to play well. But I think in the end, the difference is going to be 19 points means the Giants are settling for a lot of field goals. I just, at this point, I don't have a ton of faith in Russ to punch it in the end zone or the offensive line when you get inside the red zone and it's all tighter together. I don't have that faith yet. So hopefully they prove me wrong, though. But yeah, drop me your comments and then like and subscribe on the way out.